All right, let's get started for today. What we're going to do straight away is talk to a spirit who wants to talk to you about a bit about his life on earth and then what he believed when he was on earth about how good he was and his own self-perception. And then then talk about his experience after he passed. And we'll try to ask him details a bit about the physical part of his life after he passed, as well as the spiritual part of his life after he passed. And then Mary and I will probably need a toilet break after that. And then, so we'll have a break for 10 minutes or so. And then we'll come back and the Spirit's prepared to answer your questions about his life. Does that make sense? So we'll sort of break today into 3 parts. The first part will be the channeling. The second part will be channeling his answers to you, so you can ask questions about his life. And the third part will be, we'll get back onto some subjects I'd like to talk to you about today. Make sense? Yeah. So that's our course today. And again, we will just take notice of our temperature, just so once it hits 90 or so, we'll give you a bit of a break.
Have you got somebody monitoring that for us?
Not really. It's probably not going to hit 90, I don't think. Yeah, it didn't yesterday anyway. All right, let's get started.
Sorry? No, not yet.
No.
After the break. Yeah.
No mics until after the break. Yep.
Hello, thanks for having me.
G'day, Gus. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. Good now.
I'm good now. I'm good now.
Yeah.
I've been listening to what you've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, no worries. So maybe if we give everyone here a bit of a background about your life on Earth.
All right.
And when you lived and where you lived and so forth.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So I like to be called Gus now.
Yeah.
But when I was on Earth, people called me Samuel. I was Samuel.
Yeah.
And I was quite the politician on Earth. And I was quite involved in the formation of the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And I thought I was pretty all right.
Pretty cool.
Thought I had pretty much, thought I was a serviceman and a statesman and a soldier and all the good things.
Yeah.
I thought well, this is, when you were talking yesterday about the arrogance and the power and all these things I lived in my life on Earth, and I didn't see the problem until I came here. Yeah. But now my job is helping people with this stuff.
With these problems.
Yeah. So it's good to come and
have a chat about it.
Yeah, and I'll do my best to be honest.
Yeah, g'day. What time period did you live?
Like in the 19th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was, I was quite an important person, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or that's what I thought at the time. It's funny how your ideas change. When I was on Earth, I was quite proud of myself and all the things that I was proud of on Earth, now I feel a little ashamed about.
Yeah.
And that's how these things go.
Yeah.
But I was involved in, the war with Mexico. I was a governor of the state of Texas.
Yeah.
I served in the government. I helped lay those boundaries out.
Yeah.
Of where it all stands.
Where the state was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was. I thought I was doing the right thing.
A VIP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, that's why I changed my name.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to be associated with that.
Anymore?
No.
Yeah.
And, I had to work through things here about how puffed up I felt, and people kept puffing me up, and I probably could go back to Samuel now, but at the time I needed some kind of distance.
Yeah.
Because I kept feeling this draw, what you call my sin. My sin was drawing me back to
Earth all the time.
Yeah.
After you passed.
To the accolade of the Earth.
Yeah. Well, perhaps if I can ask you a bit more detail about your life on Earth.
Yeah.
So were you married?
Yeah.
A number of times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I thought I was pretty good with the ladies, but I wasn't really.
Yeah. And how
I was pretty harsh.
were you born into a prominent family, or did you sort of eke it out for yourself?
No, I made it myself.
Right. Yeah. So a lot to do with your actions taken to become that way.
Yeah, nothing was handed to me.
Yeah. And so obviously your intention down that direction or road was set fairly early in your life for you to have accomplished all these things.
Yeah.
Did you move to Texas from the east?
From out of state, yep.
Yeah.
You know, back then everything was pretty
rough.
Yeah, lawless and but yeah, I ran away. I wanted to be my own man.
Yeah.
I had that from a young age.
Yeah.
I wanted power and glory.
Yeah. Prove yourself in the world.
Yeah, and I kind of fell into all this political stuff, and it helped feed it even more.
Yeah.
And then the ambition grew and grew.
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't from a young age think, I want to be a political hero.
Yeah.
But it met all of my addictions.
Yeah.
It met all of my desires that were formed from a young age.
Yeah. And so you obviously had a number of marriages.
3.
And children by those?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did you ever stay in contact with the marriages or the children after you left them?
The children.
Yeah.
But the women, I really blamed them for holding me back, for their weakness, for their morality, I see now.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to hear what they thought about things.
Thought about what you were doing in order to gain power.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, my first wife actually did a lot better when she entered the spirit world.
Yeah. And how old did you live until?
Well, I was pretty old, somewhere in my 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened in those last few years of your life? Like,
I died pretty angry.
Yeah.
I was angry.
Yeah.
And the rage, having the memory of it. I wasn't getting, it was like I had built this empire inside of me, the need to direct and have power and be in charge and have, glory sounds like the wrong word, but you know, like the good
acknowledgement
reception.
from others.
Yeah. And I was pushed out. I was pushed away in some way before I died, and I was really angry about it.
Politically pushed away, you mean?
Yeah, pushed out of power.
Yeah.
And I was so angry.
Yeah.
But of course I didn't. I blamed everyone else for it.
Yeah. So during the time on Earth, and even in the last days, did you feel quite self-righteous about everything you did too?
Yeah, and also I wasn't so connected to the rage as I was as soon as I passed. Whoa! But I had this facade, you would call it, you know.
Yeah.
This. I didn't want to show even that I was angry. I was too proud to show I was angry.
Yeah.
But it ate away at me inside.
Yeah.
And it was only after I passed that I even felt it, connected to it.
Yeah. And did you have all the trappings of a fairly rich man by the time you passed?
Yeah, by the time I passed. I didn't start that way, but by the time I passed, yeah.
All the comforts of the day.
Yeah. Not quite the comforts of this day.
No, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so when you did pass, what happened? What was your experience of passing?
It was a shock.
Mm-hmm.
It was sudden, and it was a shock. And I felt, as I said, very drawn to the earth. I still felt very invested in the earth.
Yeah.
But I felt more in my in my feelings than I had for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what it's like when you're in the addiction for you're in the process, the power, the arrogance, the this, the that. You feel like you're in control.
Yeah.
I wanted that feeling of in control and in charge.
Yeah.
And as soon as I passed, I lost that feeling of in control and in charge. I didn't have the trappings of my life to support that idea of myself anymore.
Yeah.
And so I suddenly felt out of control, not in charge, powerless,
Yeah.
just, unable to, like impotent in my ability to affect
Yeah.
others. And
Yep.
that's when the rage
Began
began. Yeah.
Before then, were you welcomed into the spirit world by anybody?
Yeah, I was. I had
So-
this sort of, everybody here is greeted with love.
Yeah.
There's no, the love is there.
Yeah.
It's the condition that removes us from it after the entry.
Yeah. So in terms of time frame, you were welcomed, and was it family, friends, or
Family.
old people?
Family. My father.
Your father knew.
Yeah. And I would been very at odds with my father on earth.
So
and then he welcomed me, and he was full of love for me, actually.
Yeah.
And that was challenging. I suppose you would say I dealt with some things in his response to me.
Yeah.
But I still had the pride in me. I still had the indignation that came, after some time of adjustment. It became clear, wow, I have this inner fire, this inner desire that is not being satisfied, and now the rage.
So,
and this helped me understand why and how I passed as well.
Yeah. So how did you pass?
It's this a thing in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible agony in my heart, actually.
Yeah. Like a heart attack, it probably be called now. But
yeah.
So in that first period of passing, you were welcomed, and then what happened within obviously a short period of time after that? Were you shown where your home, to where to live?
It was more like I was drawn there.
Yeah.
And ironically, nothing's ironic here, is it? But it was like a ruin. It was like a great town in ruins.
Yeah.
And that was so apt for my condition. I wanted an empire, I wanted a great town, and so I got it, but it was in ruins.
Yeah. And just a few physical questions about your life there. What did you eat?
Well,
in terms of
nothing real, like scraps,
I
suppose you would call it, but
so you're smelling the scraps is really how you eat, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's sort of scavenging. I guess you would. I was so proud. I wouldn't have called it that. But I was really scavenging
for food.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about the water? What was the water like?
It was very murky. It was like a muddy creek. That I could visit.
Yeah.
But it was also far away. I had to travel, and it wasn't near my home.
Yeah. And what were the people like when you first arrived?
Well, when I first arrived, it was like there was nobody there.
Yeah.
And I think that was helping me to face the desire I had to control others.
So you were alone in your ruined empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But over time, others were there.
Yeah.
And I came to know them, other men, with a very similar ideal and desire as my own.
Yeah.
And so, being all very similar men, we didn't
get along very well.
No. We didn't associate very much.
Yeah.
And we all
whenever you got together, you would have argued and fought, did you?
Well, a lot of at that point, a lot of us were still not. We didn't have the energy for that.
Yeah.
We were so
exhausted by the condition.
And morose in a way,
Yeah.
like that silent anger of the injustice of what was happening.
Sort of sullen anger.
Sullen,
Yeah.
as you know, the change, the dynamic change in the spirit world doesn't happen until one gets more honest and more connected. And so
during that period, you would have visited the earth quite a lot.
A lot.
So,
so I was
probably called earthbound, wouldn't you, for some period of time?
Yes,
how long did that last?
80 years.
Yeah.
And gradually over time, I began to be more present in the spirit life. And it was tough.
So when you come back to Earth, you'd be here looking at what's going on, trying to
influence things, trying to get support from my viewpoints still.
Old colleagues, old people.
And the movement I started, and I would try to influence it all, and really influence people to remember me. To remember me as this great man. And I came to, now I see all of my feeling that I was serving the country and serving the foundation of something good for humanity or the people who lived, I could see that, now I see, I couldn't see it at the time, it was really a lot about people acknowledging me rather than serving others, but I wanted this recognition as someone who was doing good and affecting positive change. But I really wanted people just to acknowledge me.
So what caused the sort of earth life to sort of loosen its hold on you?
I think time. And partly I began to have the recognition that I just relayed, this feeling like, oh wow, I keep coming and telling myself it's all here to make it better, but actually want them to talk about me again and think about me again. And
also you wouldn't have been too successful at that either.
I saw everybody, all these men on earth who's so in the same thing as I was. They didn't want to think about me. They wanted to fulfill their own aims and their own notoriety. And so the anger started to build in me about feeling like I'm powerless now, and I want power and I can't get it
anymore.
And my home is ruins, and I can't even get. Then I tried for a little while to start something in the ruins, but nothing would work there either.
Because all the men were the same.
Exactly. So everyone fought. Everyone didn't want to work. They wanted others to work.
And they couldn't work together either.
And didn't want to accept any authority beyond our own.
So now the sort of earth life had loosened its hold on you. You could say there was still really no desire to deal with anything proactively yet, is there?
No.
So what happened to create a desire to start dealing with something?
This is what's good about the spirit life, is when you fully enter it, and you pass the transition period, you have choices in that transition period. As you're greeted with love, you're greeted with the opportunity immediately to choose love, to choose humility, to choose truth. And every person is, whether or not they want God or not, they're greeted with that opportunity. But of course, the condition we arrive in greatly affects how much we see that as an opportunity or as something I was entitled to, the love, the good reception. Because I felt so entitled to a good reception, I didn't really see that it was an opportunity. Even my father greeting me, I didn't even see that as an opportunity to properly assess the life that I'd had, assess my own self, my own heart. And so, after that transition period, and then you move into this space that is really given to you, granted to you, and then if that's not fun or good or matching what the heart says I'm entitled to, the draw to the earth is very strong, very strong, very strong. And then, then eventually one exhausts themselves. I see people do this again and again and again. Either they feel like there's nothing more for them on the earth, or they feel frustrated, which was more my case, where I felt my desires were frustrated. I couldn't fulfill them. And so I began to spend more and more time in the spirit world. And then, as very often happens, the first experience was one of anger that built into rage, where I felt I should be the master of my own destiny. I should affect change here. But all of the ways I was trying was only darkening the situation I was in, physically darkening my surroundings. And so
the more you try to act in the sin, the sin didn't stop on earth, is the point, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't stop sinning on earth.
You continued in the sin, and that made your situation even darker and darker.
Yes, I continued the sin as I entered the spirit life. Not seeing, and this is what I love about what you're doing here, is you're showing everyone they have the opportunity to see themselves. You know, so many people on earth, and myself included, I didn't stop to see myself. I saw everybody else, I saw my ambition, but I didn't see myself. I didn't examine the quality, the content internally. And I lived in my environment. I called myself a product of my generation, of the situation, of the American life at that time, and I didn't see my choice, my choices. And what I love about God and God's laws now is that there's always opportunities to see that, and yet so many times we overlook them. So it took me a long time to get humbled to the fact that there was something for me to see about me.
Yeah. So when you got to the stage of your rage,
yes,
obviously you're getting angry, and what did you do in your rage? Were there things that you did there, or are you by this stage too tired to do anything in it?
Yeah, I mean, I expressed it. I was angry. I beat my surroundings. I yelled. I swore. I kicked. I screamed. I demanded that things change.
Did you at that point just shout it out to the universe, or you didn't sort of feel it was anything to do with God or God's laws at that stage?
No, I was angry at God. God should have seen that it was unjust. That's what I felt.
That you deserved better.
God had abandoned me in this place, and I didn't see God as the governing body of the place I was in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what caused a sort of breakthrough from your rage into some real feelings?
Well, people came.
Yeah.
You know, I would sort of go into these bouts of rage, exhaust myself, morosely wander around, and people would come who looked better than me, looked neater, tidier, more pleasant, brighter but not extremely bright or anything, and, you know, walk with me sometimes and sort of ask me about my life. I could see that I see they were trying to help me reflect on my life and what was in my heart and what might have been a problem. And so that was the first real time that I started to. It took a number, I don't know how long, 6 months maybe, if we measure it by Earth time, of just people coming to me at various times and talking to me about my life. And they did it in a very
sort of innocent and indirect manner.
Gentle way, yes. They weren't trying to force a point with me. They were trying to create an opening inside of me where I would consider more deeply my life and my choices.
For yourself.
For myself, through my own reflection upon my life. And that worked. It worked. It took some time, but it worked.
Excuse me. I'll just have a cough myself. So after that period, you now have at least some contact with some people who can help you. What did you find about the things they were telling you once you wanted help? So you obviously made a transition from starting to look at your own life to the point where you could see your own life and then wanted some assistance with it.
Yeah.
So how long did that transition take?
To when I wanted assistance, to when I could see there was a fault inside of me.
Yeah.
From when I passed? You mean?
Probably from the time, so we're talking 80 years down the track already, aren't we?
Yeah.
You've already been in the spirit world 80 years. This is happening over the anger period, should we call it that? How long did that last?
I would say from start to finish 6 months.
Yeah,
Where I started raging.
Where you were really feeling it, like as that.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that period, you had people starting to come to you who...
Yeah, they had, through that 6 months period,
Yeah.
started to come to me.
So during your anger phase, they were trying to help you see, this is all about things that you'd done.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after that phase, how long did it take you to sort of ask them for help rather than just
Yeah, them asked
waiting
me.
until they came and tried to help you with that kind of thing?
6 or 8 months, from...
Yeah.
So once I decided to live in the spirit world, which I didn't really decide, I'm going to live there. It was like, this
Just
is...
sick of the other,
Yes.
going back to Earth all the
Yes,
time. Yeah.
nothing gave me any satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I was there. I would say about 8 months before I began to realise it's not like an awakening where suddenly everything is clear.
Yeah.
It was more just a pinhole,
Like a glimpse.
A glimpse of maybe I wasn't righteous.
Yeah.
Maybe
not.
maybe there's something
Or
wrong.
as righteous as you thought yourself to be.
Yeah. And from that point, then I began to ask more questions. And actually, I went through a period that was devastating. Because when I started to ask, I got shown a lot of things.
So that was more like being shown as pictures and...
Yes. Reminded of events in my life. I'd
And
killed
who showed
people.
you this?
Helpers, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But always at my
Request.
Yeah.
So you had to at least have a request first to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These were other men who also I know now, had similar lives.
Yeah. And had been given the task to
Help me.
help you because they knew about you better than anyone else, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So over that period, now we're talking, you could say we're talking about the period where you're seeking or at least wanting some help.
Yeah.
What happened then once you started wanting this help?
Then people would come.
Yeah.
They would show me issues in my life.
Yeah.
And I began to, just even one memory, I began to have, for example, one of the first memories was of me really brutally stabbing a man to death in a war situation.
Yeah.
And I suppose it was an awakening to the conscience. And the extreme weight of what I had done, it kind of came over me. And I was in a state of, it was almost like trying to come to terms with the gravity of, and the not just the gravity of the act, but of the impetus inside of myself to commit that act. That, so I began to have these experiences where it was like a wave of shame and guilt and just deep, it wasn't yet sorrow, but just deep awareness that I wasn't right. I wasn't right.
And perhaps we can explain to the audience here a bit about how it feels. It's not just emotion, is it, that you're feeling here?
No, it's like a weight, like a heaviness.
So there's sensory part of that, isn't there?
Yes.
In your body, you feel it in your body as well. And then, of course, there's also the belief systems that all start flooding with you as well, isn't there? So it's like a complete sensory and emotional experience now, rather than just a intellectual thought that you've done something wrong. And also it's a physical and emotional awareness of the wrongness. And then that
confronts the belief. It confronts the belief of righteousness, or I was doing a duty. There was no other choice. I had to do that.
Yeah.
Change should happen. This was the only way. All these beliefs that I had used to justify the action
Yeah.
are then
Presented to you, aren't they, basically?
well, they come,
yeah.
to the forefront because the sensation and the emotion is so much in disharmony with that belief.
Yeah.
That it and then...
So did you find yourself arguing with your beliefs, or your beliefs arguing with the feelings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of a torment.
Yeah.
It was a tormenting feeling, all within my own self. Yeah.
Yeah. So during that time, there would have been times when people would come to you and talk to you about how to deal with all of this?
Yes.
Yep. And what kind of suggestions did they make?
They helped me to recognise that, really that process, I was just saying that the reason I was in torment was that I was still rationalising the action while the conscience and my own compensation was showing me there was a wrongness.
Mm-hmm.
And so they helped me to feel and see, but through their own example, they began to show me pictures of their own example then,
Yeah.
that I could release that and that to connect even more with my feelings would help to confront the beliefs even more.
Yeah. So they encouraged you to go with the sensory and emotional experience rather than try to fight it and avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did actually begin to pray in this period as well, although not what you would call a sincere prayer, but there was a longing to end the torment.
Of course.
And so I can see that did actually help the attraction of spirits who had a relationship with God, who could begin to teach me the very fundamentals of repentance, and that there was a greater power than me that could assist me with the torment if only I was willing to reconsider the beliefs. And of course, it wasn't an intellectual reconsideration of the beliefs. It was more helping me to feel and understand that the feelings were showing me the wrongness of the belief, that my experience was showing me the wrongness of my belief, and that emotionally I could change the belief through letting those feelings overwhelm me, that the beliefs wouldn't feel so concrete inside me.
Yeah, so you had to surrender to the emotional and sensory experience rather than intellectually attempt to control the experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And to allow that to lead rather than to have the beliefs aren't intellectual, they resided in me as well.
Those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so now there's sort of the beginnings, you could say, weren't there, of this relationship with God, even though it was sort of humble beginnings. What happened to encourage you to then sort of embrace that with more surety and faith compared to, just going through the action of it,
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a process you're going through, so it's not always a linear single decision.
Correct. So there's little decisions you make along the way, isn't there, that lead you down this path eventually. Yeah.
Once I came to terms with the fact that there would be pain in this process.
Yep, and there was going to have to be? Did you get to that point?
I came to understand, this is going to be pain.
Yep.
And it's pain I felt on earth that I was able to handle physical pain to some degree, physical discomfort, but certainly not emotional pain and discomfort.
Yep.
And once I came to the reality that the more I fought the pain I was in, and physically and emotionally, but the more I fought it, the more tormenting it was. But once I had some experiences of having pain and feeling some relief, and this gradual shift in my beliefs about myself mainly, I had to do work on my desired arrogance and my desired ignorance of what I'd done,
Yeah.
as I began to do that, I had this point of recognition that, okay, this is a process of change and there's going to be pain.
Yeah.
There's going to be pain. And once I sort of got that,
Sort of came to terms with that emotionally.
yes, I sort of got it,
Yeah.
then things sped up, and then I began a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Before then, I wasn't on good terms.
No.
Yeah.
Yelling and screaming at him and cursing him and
Yeah.
so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very ungrateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though all the way through this, as you now know, God was there all the time trying to lead you down
Yeah.
this path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're embracing the fact that I've got pain within and I'm going to have to let it out. It's
Yeah.
all going to have to go.
Yeah.
When did you make the decision to make it go fast rather than slow?
Probably at that point.
Yeah.
And obviously, it sped up a lot at that point. One benefit I had from the earth is that I was
Ambitious.
ambitious. I was connected to this idea that if you put effort in, you get more result.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to temper that with love.
Yeah.
And so
Turn it into a loving ambition.
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah. So it really sped up from there. And I feel I've made really good progress in the interim.
Yeah.
It's sort of 100
100 years.
100 or more years.
Or more,
Yeah.
yep.
Slightly more. But
Yeah.
probably the last 100.
Yeah.
I'm
so
in the
where are
third-
you now? Third sphere?
Third sphere, nearly the fourth.
Yeah, very good.
Yep.
Yeah, lovely. And a big contrast to where you first
Yeah.
arrived.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Do you worry about having a city now?
No. The fact is now, I take a lot of pride in service.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
I thought I served
Yeah.
on earth, and now I feel I serve. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely. Yeah. And obviously during this time, with the first phase, you felt friendless, really,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
When did you start feeling there was a potentiality of friends and
as I softened,
Yeah.
I could feel love more from people around me.
yeah,
And as soon as I really engaged that relationship with God, I found I had ancestors who had a relationship with God, who would come to me, and I found companionship for the first time in my life.
yeah.
Real loving
Like friends.
companionship.
Yeah, decent friends rather than someone you're competing with all the time.
That's right, or proving myself to, or, I felt like there was warmth and affection in my life for the first time, in a true sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
In my early life, I had spent some time with native tribes
Yep.
in the region, and I had seen that warmth and affection at times between them and their family units, and part of the reason I was attracted to them is because I felt that loss inside of myself. I felt that lack.
Yeah. And obviously that came from the fact you didn't feel very connected to your father and mother.
Yeah.
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 So, obviously, too, you'd like to say some things to the audience. So I've asked you a lot of questions, but you'd like to talk to them a bit about your experience. So,
I think I really feel I was so drawn, and perhaps a little forceful, but hopefully in a loving sense, to come and speak because I feel so passionately about what you are discussing, particularly yesterday. This idea that the desire for these, the power and the arrogance, I thought it was so normal. I didn't see it as wrong. I thought it was goodness about me. And I called it goodness. I called it, justice and fighting for change and serving others. And really it was this arrogance and addiction. And I feel the opportunity for people on earth to examine their desires and to come to a place of sincerity with the authority, with God's authority, to show each person the true content of their desires and how in harmony or out of harmony with God's desires they are, God's laws that they are. The opportunity to do that on earth it's miraculous. I know it's not a miracle, but a lot of us here feel it is a miracle that this is now being taught on earth, because we see the difference in the course of our lives that would have been possible
if you had that opportunity.
And again, my arrogant and idealized view of wanting to affect change on earth to make the world better, to make there to be more justice is what I thought. I see the real opportunity for that to happen on earth if people are given these gifts to reach a place of sincerity with God. That is the only time that it's possible. And even just the awareness of God's laws, even without a personal relationship with God, although I personally feel that the strength and the rapidness of change is possible only with God. But when I counsel men now who are entering the spirit life, and I've counselled statesmen and presidents and leaders from many countries, many of them who have similar ambitions and who have committed similar crimes against others. I counsel them now and I give them that opportunity. I say, you can do this with God directly or just with the law that is already operating upon you. And I see their changes in either way. But for people to embrace that opportunity while still on earth, to me that is such a powerful opportunity, not just for the individual, but for the earth, for the vision of the earth that I thought that I had when I was there.
Because each of these people with ambition have an effect on other people, of course, too.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
if they had the ambition in the right direction, a loving ambition, that would change things quite markedly on earth as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes. And for individuals, even those who don't want to be rulers or leaders, to come to feel God's authority rather than respect the authority of people with dark ambition would change the lives of many, many people.
Yeah.
And the reality of earth.
Yeah. So now you're in the third and nearly entering the fourth. Yep. You can feel that you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And what does it feel like now in contrast? So maybe if you describe what you eat now versus what you ate when you first began Spirit World Life.
It's funny how you keep talking about eating. It's the last of our concerns here, really.
I know, but I'm trying to illustrate to our audience that a lot of the things they're searching for comfort in, which often in this modern age turns into things like food, clothing, shelter, environment, where I live, what I do. All of these things, when you first arrive, probably won't be available to you if you don't do something about your condition.
Yes, yes.
And for most people on earth, they are major things that they're going to be confronted with, just like you were when you first...
Just like I was,
when you first passed. So by the time you reach the third sphere, obviously it's not too much of a concern.
Yeah, but you're right. In the first sphere, it's like every warm blanket has been ripped from you in terms of, if we call warm
every point of comfort.
Yes, every point of comfort has been stripped from you.
Yeah.
And it does feel very harsh.
Yeah.
Now, the seeking of comfort in that way is something that falls away. The desire to be comforted from something external apart from God, and that feeling with God is not one of comfort either.
No.
It's one of love and invigoration and truth.
And it's not always comfortable to hear either of the truth, is it?
No, that's right. But there's a feeling that feeling alive is far more fulfilling than comfort, which is often a feeling of dulling down one's senses.
It's a fear, isn't it, really? It's
yes.
fear. Yeah.
And it does create a dullness in the senses emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
And so now it's the invigoration that I crave and not the comfort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And so, of course, the air is clean.
Yeah.
The water. I do love running water, and
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I have again a source of clean, clear running water, and very.
And instead of travelling for miles for it,
Yes,
it's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And so you barely think about it anymore,
Yeah,
do you? So
yeah,
what
yeah.
stressed you out when you first passed
yes.
no longer feels important anymore, but substantially it's because the situation is better anyway.
That's right. And I often feel nourished by the smells of nature. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Healing things,
yes,
isn't it?
healing things. So this obviously where I am, I'm still in the process of repentance about many things.
Yeah.
And the process of being in nature as I work through those things, I find that very nourishing in a truer sense. The
Yeah.
smells
Yeah.
and the colours of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I think if a person wants to sort of look up your life on Earth,
Yes.
I don't know if Mary can remember your name. She knew it earlier, but your full name, I mean.
Yes. So Samuel Houston. I think it's Houston. That's Mary saying I think it's Houston.
Yeah. Which
Huston.
Houston.
Houston. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't that a town in Texas? A city in Texas, yeah.
You can see why I wanted to change my name.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's still a city in Texas to this day.
I hope that people can be more proud of my service now.
Yeah. So, in terms of your personal life, if we can sort of, your personal life when you first arrived in the spirit world must have been just eking out an existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that feel? Like, did a lot of your time go towards that?
You mean like a physical existence?
Yeah, and like just trying to get an existence where you felt something like some level of importance.
Yeah. And obviously that earthbound state, I was very caught up in that.
Yeah.
And then when I was more entering the spirit world, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was often... Yeah, I was trying to be a politician still, though, too.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work. Yeah.
Did you try to negotiate your way out of everything? Or?
Well, there wasn't many people to negotiate with. Which is a good thing
enough.
for me.
Yeah.
But, I tried to, with the people who were around,
Yeah.
occasionally there would be people drawn who had the addiction to being told what to do.
Yeah. And that made you feel powerful again?
It did.
Yeah.
And I exploited them, and it worsened my condition, my surroundings.
Yeah.
I had them do things for me.
Yeah.
And I had them trying to, do things really.
And they were men and women who were drawn into that?
Yeah, mainly men.
Mainly men?
I was very involved in directing men on Earth. I felt men were the change makers, men were the powerful people, and so.
Yeah. So now in the third sphere, obviously you're doing things like helping other men who are similar. That's your assigned work? Is that the best way of putting it?
Yes.
Isn't it? Who has assigned that to you?
God. I feel God, but through someone higher.
Yeah.
In the spirit world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're very willing to do it, aren't you? Or desirous of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I grew, the desire in me grew, and then it was assigned to me.
Yeah. So you had to qualify first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. Sort of each sphere is like a probation for the next one, in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you've got to develop the qualities and credentials inside of yourself to reach the next sphere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Again, I didn't think about it so much.
Yeah.
Don't think about... I guess I don't have that ambition so much. As you probably can feel, I'm still working through the sorrow of my... 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 life,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the mistakes that I made and the false sense of importance or the false values that I promoted on earth.
And being such a powerful person on earth, you would have influenced others quite strongly too.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of things that then come along with that,
Yes.
isn't there?
Yes. And also one comes to feel the regret of that not every desire in its infancy was corrupted, but it became corrupted by these desires.
Sort of the addictive ambitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I come to feel my true nature, I feel there is a strong feeling for others and for service.
Yeah.
And that was so corrupted by my other evil desires, if you like, that I came to have quite an influence in a negative way, what I now see as a negative way, and a legacy that, while many view it as important, I feel a lot of sorrow that it wasn't more kind, loving,
Yeah. Yeah.
respectful of all people.
Yeah. And what drew you to want to have a chat with the group here? Obviously, we asked, but aside from that.
Well, as you probably felt I'm so passionate about everybody doing this on earth.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like these are my people. There's a group gathered who share an ancestry which is shared with my own in a way, where they live in lands that I lived, and they experience the effects of a lot of men of my generation.
Yeah. In terms of what they created.
Yeah, and what we valued.
Yeah.
We valued things that now are coming to fruition in a much stronger way.
Yeah.
The entitlement, the desire for superiority, the desire for control, the desire for power over others, the feeling that these things are good and rational and righteous.
Yeah.
These are all things that myself and my peers honoured. And now there is a nation who also honours it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And many people don't realise, just as I did not realise, how much those desires live in the soul or the psyche or collectively.
Of each individual.
Yeah.
Now.
And how that affects the sincerity that you talked about.
Yeah. And this is how cultural problems get distributed across a nation, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's the same with every nation on earth. They have individual cultural problems that usually came from positions of power being influenced and then it turning into the psyche of an entire nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this interplay between the leaders of a nation holding certain values. They become leaders because those values are widely held in the populace.
Yeah.
But then as they grow in their leadership, they continue to promote those values so that it becomes a governance of values that is perpetuated through generations.
Yeah.
And people who wish to live outside those values or have different values are often squashed. And so I counsel a lot of leaders on this very dynamic. And of course I deal with leaders from Asia, from all over the world, not just from the United States or the Americas.
Yeah. And do you try to talk to any who are in their sleep state who are still living on Earth?
I try.
It's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So very few of them want to listen. Yeah. And I do believe that it's the courage and the compassion of people who are not in positions of leadership to seek God's authority, to develop sincerity, to live outside of the corrupt values of whatever nation they live in, that will be the agent for change on earth. Yes, because it's highly unlikely it's going to be the people who want those things, want the bad things.
I have a lot of love for those people, but going through what I'm going through and having learned the lessons I've learned, I understand they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and it's going to take them a long time.
Yeah.
So this is a part of it too, isn't it? Like a lot of people on earth sort of are waiting for their governments to change, waiting for the government to make a better decision. And it's highly unlikely this is going to happen without people themselves first changing.
And what I observe is that people want government to change things, but only to provide them with more comfort.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very rare individual anywhere on the globe who analyses the values of the governance in their country or their region and measures that against love or God's law.
Yeah.
And yet that is the true way to influence a change in governance.
Yes.
To first understand individuals.
Yep.
What are the values that are being promoted to me? Do I share them? If I share them, why and how is that good or how is that bad? And am I just wanting a change because I feel uncomfortable, because I don't want to be afraid? These are the kind of sincere questions that individuals can ask that will affect change on earth.
Yeah. And their desire, it's highly unlikely that we don't have them, given the fact we've been brought up in the culture that's developed them strongly and wants you to have them.
Yes, and it's like a cascading, compounding effect where collectively a group has the values, they promote a leader, the leader perpetuates those values, but they're even more corrupted by the ambition and by the arrogance of the leader, and they begin to be instilled and held over the next generation, who then is more forced into that corruption of the values, and
from birth,
from
conception, really,
yes.
Isn't it?
And then they are more prone to
embrace
the
naturally
corruption
without even thinking about them, isn't it?
It's what they feel is normal.
Yeah.
And then that further corruption, they promote a leader, whether it's through democracy or any other means. They promote and respect a leader that holds that further corrupted values, and often those values are further corrupted by the ambition of that leader, and so it goes.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm excited, because there's this opportunity to pause and analyse.
Yeah.
Are these values in harmony with love, sincerity, God's law? Because it's only when individuals are willing to do that internally that they begin to measure the values in the leadership around them.
Yeah. So what values do you see in the audience that they're not questioning, but actually are going to have to be questioned at some point?
Well, there's obvious things like consumption, the feeling that consuming brings comfort, whether that's consuming physically or consuming resources, that's an entitlement and that's normal. But then there's other values, like the feeling that love is something that is deserved or earned, and not something that is a gift that one's not entitled to. The feeling that safety is love, so the absence of fear is love, and that anyone who is good and kind and loving will alleviate fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When actually, in my experience, that is quite the opposite. Any time a fear is present in me, God exposes that to me, and that is liberating as I feel that fear. But a huge problem I see in this nation now is that fear is something that is considered to be a harm and a threat for the individual to feel it, and certainly not something that a good, kind, loving parent, leader, partner would ever expose in the other.
Or even encourage either.
Certainly not encourage.
Certainly not expose or encourage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 and the demands upon others to provide comfort, security, resources is now extreme. It's extreme in most Western countries, but even in other countries. But the desire to blame and demand of others rather than require things of self is becoming a huge danger to the well-being of future generations.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean that not just in a physical sense, but in an emotional sense.
Yeah.
The demand that others provide emotional resources to the individual in order for them to...
Such as approval, acceptance, worth, and so forth.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Yeah. As well as in the physical sense as well.
Yeah. All right, well, is there anything further you'd like to say to the audience? And then what we'll do is have a pause and everyone can go to the toilet and we'll come back and maybe the audience then can ask you some questions.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah. So nothing further you'd like to add before?
Oh, I'm sure I'll add more.
Yeah,
Yes.
the questions
Yes.
will expose that. That's good. All right, well, let's just have a 5-minute or 10-minute break to go to the toilet, and then we'll come back and talk more with Gus.